5.
Even the great Alan Murchison, it seems, cannot pull off a dish of any real quality in such a short time. And frankly, he failed miserably. It was a disgrace. It's a 4.
I wasn't very impressed by the dish that Alan served to us, frankly, in the heats. And I was no more, I'm afraid to say, impressed by this. To me, it was a sort of paradox wrapped in a mystery. The only question is why? Why serve up that to us? And for that reason, it's a 5.
So it seems Alan's risky gamble has failed to pay off. Can Niall's beef dish do any better? He just missed the top 3 in the starter by coming 4th, and he slipped into 5th place yesterday, so he's banking on this one making it into the top 3. Almost all his dish of fillet of shorthorn beef with bone marrow and ox tongue is locally sourced, and he's sticking with it, even though the judges thought it was a bit too hearty for a summer's day.
If he rectifies the issues around the vegetables and not having enough of them, then I think he's in with a very good chance.
He's got to just make sure he balances it properly, because if you are going to serve beef at a banquet and in the summer, it's got to be balanced. That's the bottom line.
I think today's a perfect banquet dish, you know, for those 100 producers and suppliers. Have to get in the top 3 today, have to.
Niall's browned off his beef fillets before oven roasting them, and he's rolled his bone marrow in a herb crumb. Aware the dish needs to be lightened up, he's adding extra vegetables.
So what are you actually serving with the beef?
I'm going to serve carrot, beetroot, faves, spring onion, and then some wee red wine jus, some potatoes, but are just over here cooking away nicely.
Alan's keeping his eye on Niall's progress and seems to be doing all he can to unnerve him.
Are you not ever so worried that it's going to dry out?
No, not really. I've only got 10 minutes to go.
But Niall's not only keeping his cool, he's ready to plate up ahead of time.
You coming a bit early, Chef?
Just a wee bit. The reason I'm early is because I'm totally organised, mate, so...
Do you know what? I'm glad, mate. It's taken you 3 days.
He starts with the beef fillet and then places the sliced tongue. After the herbed bone marrow, he lays his vegetables and finishes with the onion puree and a drizzle of red wine jus.
So, Alan, do you feel threatened?
Oh, I'm threatened by everybody, mate.
Right, gents, here we go.
Pretty plate, mate.
Well, it looks like a mighty, meaty mouthful to me.
I think the bone is a bit disorientating. I think it sort of detracts away from the meat itself.
Oh, I love it. I think that's what makes it...
Where's your sense?
I like it Russian bone.
It makes it unusual and like a flag sticking up.
I think that beef's got a massive depth of flavour.
That is good meat.
It's beautifully cooked. It has enough texture to it to make you chew it and then release the flavours.
I love the idea of the beef marrow being with a sort of parsley crust around it, but actually the middle of it is not properly cooked. And
yeah, it needs a bit longer.
I think the tongue is wrong. I don't think it needs the tongue.
Oh, I love the tongue.
No, I really don't think. I don't know why. I feel it doesn't need the tongue.
I think it's a great bit of cooking. The beef's been sourced fantastically and what you would expect at this level.
But this is not just about sourcing and the quality of the beef. It's about creativity. It's about saying, wow, this chef has taken a great piece of produce and he made it into something that's really special for this banquet, something that these people will never have tried before, that Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall are going to go, wow.
Do you know, I am so cross with Niall because, yes, we wanted more veg, but what we did not ask for was vinegary, over-salted beetroot, which is not summery. It doesn't take a lot to get the veg right.
Well,
and you know what? This is a beautiful dish if it wasn't for that. I really could kill him.
So, mixed opinions from the judges. But what do Niall's fellow chefs think?
I think it looks absolutely stunning.
Potatoes just a bit on the salty side for me.
The beef is cooked rare. 100 people at banquet, do you think that might be an issue?
Yeah, I think you'd have to cook it a little bit more.
Yeah.
do you know, I really warmed to Niall. There's some enormous generosity about his food. He added vegetables this time, which was a distinct improvement, but they were sort of added a sort of slightly grudging sense as an afterthought. So for that reason, I'm afraid I'm only going to give him a 7.
I really thought that the beef marrow wrapped up in that garlicky thing was just far too overpowering, so I'm going to give it a 7.
If Niall's restaurant was anywhere near me at all, I would go to it every day. He cooks the sort of food that I really enjoy eating, but it is a competition, and although it's a good dish, it's a 7.
I really like this dish. I thought this dish was fantastic. Yes, the vegetables were a little bit, you know, mundane, not too creative, but for me that was a slight glitch. I just thought dish together was just a great dish. I really liked it. For that reason, I'm going to give it an 8.
So, better scores than yesterday, but will it be enough to win him a place at the banquet? He'll just have to wait and see. So, 5 of the chefs have served their dishes, and now there's only 3 to go. In the back kitchen, conversation has turned to this year's brief and the huge challenge it presented.
Like, sourcing this here was just, I found extremely difficult. I mean, even there's a lot of suppliers out there, it's them guaranteeing that the quality will be there.
And to put your faith into somebody for something like this is quite hard.
So for me, it was an absolute nightmare. Scottish climate, one challenge. The other thing's 500 miles away from where I'm based. So I really struggled with that, to be honest.
It's a great process to do.
Yeah.
Because you're working with someone to get standards higher.
Yeah.
How much work they put into it, it's phenomenal.
The final chefs to take their place in the kitchen are Lisa Allen from the northeast, Aled Williams from Wales, and the southwest's Nathan Outlaw.
Here we are, guys.
Here we are again.
Last ones of the day.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
all pressure.
Battle of the Lamb.
Lamb challenge.
It is.
The Lamb Challenge.
Lancashire lass Lisa began the week on a high when her starter made it into the top 3. But after slipping into 4th place in the fish course, she's determined to do better today.
By the time you get to main course, you know, people do get more competitive. It's that one that's closer to the end, so you've got to really make it an impact. And I think people are going to go out there, including myself, and really fight for that today.
Lisa stuck very closely to the brief of local sourcing for her dish of saltmarsh lamb with sweetbreads. But while the judges liked it, they thought there was room for improvement. And as her boss, Nigel Howarth, won the main course last year, Lisa knows she's got a lot to live up to today.
So, Lisa, are you feeling the pressure this year? Because obviously your boss, he got to the banquet using lamb.
Yeah, I think there is, there is added pressure there. He got a fantastic dish through last year. And also a big pressure is the fact that everybody's cooking so well.
We've seen all the dishes that have gone up so far, and it's a pretty high standard.
So after this, if you're not in the top 3, you've only got one more chance.
With all 3 of the final chefs cooking lamb dishes, the stakes couldn't be higher. Each of them will be doing all they can to make sure their dish stands out from the rest.
So, you got any changes on yours?
Basically, all I'm doing is adding a sweetbread fritter onto it. So I'm doing English onions, taking down really slowly with a bit of turmeric in the back, and then putting them around caramelised sweetbread and then deep frying them. So it's a lovely little fritter, just as another texture on the plate as well.
So Lisa's hoping adding a sweetbread fritter will give her the edge in the battle of the lamb dishes. She starts by laying a bed of peas and morels. Then she adds the lamb, which she's water-bathed before sealing in a marjoram crust. She drizzles a mushroom sauce, and finally she lays what she hopes will be the ace up her sleeve, the sweetbread fritter.
Nice one. Happy?
Yeah, I think so.
That's really smart.
Oh, I think that looks just beautiful.
For me, that's summer on a plate. Look at that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's stunning.
Did we have this
No.
beignet before? There's sweetbread inside there. This has been added to the plate. I think Lisa's understood my passion for offal.
Oh,
Flavours are very clear.
Yeah. I think the batter could be slightly lighter. But I think the idea is delicious because I love that crunchiness. It brings a sort of unexpected element to this. I remember last time I came and say, you came and say, it's a nice dish. And I said, I had trouble with the word nice. I said, we wanted something more than nice. And I think it may be only a little detail, but I think it's that little bit of extra refinement, a little bit of tightening up of some of the things, and that extra element of the unexpected there has added that bit of fantasy that makes this a real festival dish.
I think the sourcing in the peas is excellent. It's very beautiful. It's still light, but it's summery.
I think the peas are absolutely sensational. I like the fact of not just putting a traditional lamb jus with it, which most chefs would do, and it's got a little bit more of a creaminess to it. I just think it's really nice.
It's very delicate, delicious, very well thought out.
I'd be happy to see this at the banquet.
It celebrates the produce of the Northwest. There's nothing here on the plate that shouldn't be there.
I'd be very, very happy to see that at the banquet. I think Prince Charles ate that.
Yes.
He would sit there and go, sweetbreads and onion barges.
An excellent reception from the judges. Do Lisa's peers in the prep room go along with that?
Look at this, guys.
Beautiful.
Looks like a dish fit for a banquet, doesn't it?
Definitely a banquet dish. It's beautiful.
Sweetbread, absolutely delicious.
And the lamb is so tender.
Very nice.
Very strong piece of cooking.
This dish for me was summer on a plate, and that onion bhaji just brought the whole thing together, and for that reason, I'm going to give it a big 9.
Listen, I agree with you. That was just such a beautiful piece of cooking. Onion bhaji heaven. That was a bit of rock and roll. 9.
The addition of the sweetbread onion bhaji was just a stroke of genius, and I think just lifted that plate, the whole dish, up into another level, and I'm going to give it a 9.
OK, Matthew, so you loved it. Oliver, you loved it. Jason, you loved it. All you guys just loved that dish. What's the matter with you? Why can't you give it a 10?
So a fantastic score for Lisa, making it even harder work for the 2 remaining chefs with their lamb dishes. Aled Williams from Wales, one of the youngest chefs in the competition, bounced into the top 3 yesterday after coming in 7th place with his starter. So he's hoping to keep up the momentum today with his dish of loin and slow-cooked shoulder of mountain hogget, almost all of which was locally sourced.
This dish didn't find a huge amount of favour with us, but there's one part that did, I remember, and that was that little chop, do you remember, which was absolutely magical. The rest of it was...
enough to rescue it, though. I mean, it really wasn't a good dish.
Probably the hogget was good enough if he spent some more time on it.
It's so rare, though, isn't it, Jason, to have hogget with no flavour? I mean, it's older. It's a little bit older animal.
Yeah, but we will find out.
As he's the 3rd of 4 chefs cooking lamb today, Aled knows he's got to deliver the dish of his life.
I've hopefully got the edge because I believe I found the gems of Wales, really. The produce I found is amazing. So hopefully the judges will appreciate the hard work I've put into finding the produce, and it'll take me all the way to the banquet.
So, Aled, top 3 finish yesterday. How are you feeling about this dish? Getting in there as well?
I'd love to. You know, as an absolute, true, patriotic Welshman, for me to cook lamb hogget for the Prince of Wales, it doesn't get much better than that.
I know he's the Prince of Wales, but he's also the Duke of Cornwall, so I think getting some Cornish lamb in there would be good as well.
Knowing all 3 chefs are desperate to cook the standout dish, Tom can't resist causing trouble.
Yours is Cornish lamb.
Yep.
And yours is Welsh lamb.
Yeah.
And you've just served...
Lancashire lamb.
Lancashire lamb.
Oi!
Which one do you think the Prince of Wales is going to prefer? The Prince of Wales.
Well,
I don't know.
The Prince of Wales?
Well, it should really like Aled, shouldn't he?
Aled certainly hopes so. But first he's got to impress the judges, and he's going all out in an attempt to show off his technical skills by cooking his hogget in a number of ways. He's water bathing the loin, slow cooking the shoulder, and frying his confit rib.
I like to do elements of different techniques, different slow cooking, fast cooking, that kind of thing. It's what I enjoy cooking.
But his rivals in the kitchen are wondering if Aled's really thought this through.
I'd be a little bit worried, just due to the fact that he's got a lot of cuts on there, and to get them all out perfectly for a banquet to actually give a celebration of the lamb at its best quality.
Busy young man there, Aled.
Yeah, I've got a few elements going on today.
Are you ever so slightly worried you might have bitten off a little bit too much?
No, not at all. For me, I think it's achievable.
I think the risk all of us can make in this competition is being too complicated. Aled certainly run that risk with his dish because he had lots of elements. You have to get it spot on, otherwise it will show up in this competition.
I've got quite a lot of ingredients in my dish, but they all really complement each other. It's actually showing different skill, it's showing different techniques. All in all, I think the dish kind of blends together well, and now obviously we'll wait and see what the judges think.
It's time for Aled to plate up. He starts by laying the potato cake and onion puree. Then he places the loin of mountain hogget, adds a garnish of asparagus, peas, broad beans and morels, and finishes with the confit rib.
Happy?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah? Really nice.
It's a celebration of Welsh produce.
That's what I remember.
It doesn't quite sing of summer to me. It doesn't have quite the that jollity and spring-like feeling that I want from a dish. I can just feel my arteries being coated in the most divine fat.